Welcome back to another employability session. This is for your employability level 1 certificate. So remember that we are complying to health and safety, safeguarding, preventing, pushing values and equality and diversity guidelines within these training sessions. Our safeguarding leads here at Best Choice Training are Marie Spence and Tracy Turner. And please make sure that you have signed the register, that you have attended today's session. Today's aims and objectives are to know how to review your interview performance and complete the evidence required to complete Unit 28. And your criteria you are meeting today is 3.1, identify your own strengths from the feedback given, and 3.2, identify areas for improvement and give an example of how you will develop these skills. So you are needed to complete the final evidence to achieve the NCFE certificate in the employability level 1. Unit 28 is interview skills, and this is part 2. You would have already watched part 1 previously, so let's get into part 2. So what is a mock interview? An interview that is simulated to provide support and guidance to improve interview skills is what a mock interview is. It is like a real interview. You still need to research a company and a role that you'd want to apply for, and you can use this within the interview to base your answers around. You would also need to address appropriately and act as though it is a real interview by greeting the interviewer appropriately. So, for example, with a smile and a firm handshake. The interviewer will ask you some questions like they would in a real interview. And the mock interview will be video recorded and will only last between 5 to 10 minutes. You would then be provided with the video of yourself in the interview to review how you came across and if there are any improvements that you would make. To be able to prepare for this mock interview, you will need to research a company and a position that you want to apply for and provide this information to your tutor. What you need to do then is prepare yourself for that interview with the skills that you have learned so far. You will then have to complete the mock interview. As mentioned previously, this interview will be video recorded and will last 5 to 10 minutes. Once you have completed this mock interview, you will be provided with your video for you to view and analyse of how you came across to the interviewer, and to be able to identify if there is anything that you would improve. Really good opportunity to do mock interviews, to be able to see your improvements needed, to be able to take those skills and developments into a real life interview. So your interview skills are covering 3.1, identifying your own strengths from your feedback, that is from your video, and 3.2, identify areas for improvement and give an example of how you would develop these skills. So with that one there, you need to work on worksheet 1, reviewing the feedback. Your next activity is to develop those skills that you've identified from your mock interview video. So from your worksheet, you have identified development needs and how you can improve them. So now you are going to improve them. So this could be practicing interview techniques with someone else, doing research on the internet, maybe preparing for answers that you previously struggled with as well. Your next activity will be practice interviews. Your task is to complete practice interviews with each other. You will be given a number of 1 or 2. So learner 1 will be the interviewer first and learner 2 will be the interviewee. So interviewers, your task is you will be provided with a generic interview questions, and they can be creative. You can be creative and ask some of your own. And then the interviewee, using the preparation you did earlier today, you'll be able to use these skills that you have developed to improve your interview skills. So what we need to do is take it in turns. And then once you've taken it in turns, being the interviewer and interviewee, provide each other with crucial feedback. So once you've completed the first round, swap round. So both of you have become the interviewee and both the interviewer as well. This is absolutely brilliant practice for your interviews. Your next activity, now you've had your mock interview and you've had your interviews with your colleagues on this course, you are now going to have an interview with your tutor. So you will need to attend an interview with your tutor, and this interview will last for approximately 5 minutes. And then your tutor will then provide you with feedback. Well done on completing these mock interviews and practice interviews. What we are going to do now is take a moment to reflect on what you've learnt today. So what interview skills have you learnt today or from the previous session? Has the mock and practice interviews been helpful? If it has, what areas of development have you identified for yourself, and how are you going to improve these following a real life interview? Well done on today with your interview skills, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next session.